A recent study from NerdWallet shows houses typically cost 8.45% less during those 2 months than in June and August. True, the pickings might be slimmer, given that most sellers list a house in the peak spring or summer seasons. However, not only are you less likely to be up against buyers with wads of cash. Every minute, someone in the United States has a stroke. Of the 700,000 victims each year, 1/3 die, and another third suffer permanent paralysis, loss of speech or memory lapses. The best way to minimize the effects of a stroke is to know the warning signs so the stroke victim can get immediate treatment. Warning signs include sudden weakness or numbness, specifically on one side of the body. Ice cream or yogurt? Regular or diet soda? These may not be critical decisions at your dinner table, unless you're a diabetic. People with diabetes face daily challenges. To remain healthy, they must monitor their blood sugar levels, eat a balanced diet and exercise regularly. Some people also need to take insulin to stay alive. Even if you've never baked before, the rewards of home baking are within your reach. Many recipes for baked goods aren't at all difficult. Plum Good Coffee Cake is a prime example. The coffee cake is a good way to add more fruit servings to your diet for breakfast, brunch, or a late-night snack, and, best of all, it's easy to make. For success, start by gathering all the ingredients and equipment. Keeping up with seasonal trends in home comfort is often a time and money-consuming challenge. There are a few trends that are here to stay, however, and some of those options can also help reduce your energy bills year after year. The company that brings you Tempstar brand heating and cooling products can give you some good suggestions to help you save money now and for years to come. In an age when television shows like The Swan are all the rage and folks seem to be doing just about anything to enhance their appearance, cosmetic procedures are becoming more advanced and, in the case of dentistry, less painful. If you dream of having the perfect smile but the thought of having veneers applied to your teeth makes you wince in pain, you'll be happy to know there's a new way. For Americans who want to control their carbs, learning how to consume good carbohydrates in balance with a variety of proteins and good fats can be confusing. To help people understand the science underlying this nutritional approach, Atkins for Life, the book that set the gold standard for controlled carbohydrate lifestyles, provides clear and complete explanations of carbs' functions. On the road, drivers must deal with constant traffic concerns, including glaring sunlight, blinding rain, traffic jams, street signs, and other drivers. But one distraction you might not have thought about is your kids. According to AAA, more than 1.5 million crashes have involved some kind of driver distraction, and 24% of crashes occur because of drivers having to deal with children. With gas prices on the rise, there is no better time than now to think about vehicle maintenance. Proper car care is critical during the travel season, said Rich White, executive director of the Car Care Council. With gas prices exceeding an average $2 per gallon for the first time in history, performing a few basic, inexpensive maintenance checks will make road trips both safe and efficient. If you haven't gotten married yet or recently been to a wedding, you may be surprised by new trends in wedding gift giving. Though brides and grooms are still attracted to bone china and cut crystal goblets, many are now more likely to opt for non-traditional, sometimes more luxurious, gifts. Unlike the engaged couples of 20 to 30 years ago, today's 21st century pair may not be furnishing their first home. They might not be so interested in a crystal candy dish or monogrammed silverware, either. Few people realize that having a beautiful wedding does not require spending their entire savings. If you're planning a wedding, learning where to cut costs and how to budget will leave you with money to spare. There are many ways to have the wedding of your dreams without the nightmare of huge bills, said Anna Griffin, wedding industry expert and designer of the wedding studio. The tedious tasks of writing out checks for bills and making constant trips to the post office to mail them could soon be a thing of the past, experts say. More and more Americans, about 30 million households, according to recent findings, are discovering the advantages of paying bills online, where stacks of statements aren't waiting to be filed away in a crowded cabinet. In Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian Institution will soon welcome an addition to its family of museums that house priceless works of art and other relics. To celebrate the legacy and contributions of Black people in the U.S., the Smithsonian is developing the National Museum of African American History and Culture. The museum will be the only institution devoted exclusively to the documentation of African American life, art, history and culture. Whether you're climbing your way up the corporate ladder or overwhelmed with the organizational tasks of home and kids, a luxurious vacation to an exotic paradise may seem like an impossible dream. You can only fantasize about an outdoor massage among fragrant island flowers or a nap after enjoying a brunch ripe with fruits fresh from the vine. Susan, a 40-year-old school teacher, was suffering from daily headaches, neck pains, shoulder pains, chronic feelings of tension and sleepless nights. After performing a number of diagnostic tests and a thorough examination, Susan's physician informed her that her X-rays, blood tests and MRI indicated she had no physical problems. Yet Susan's pain was very real. To her surprise, her doctor told her that her physical pains and discomforts were symptoms of depression. Let's face it, hair loss is not a welcome change at any age. With more than 70% of men experiencing male pattern baldness at some point in their lives, many of them seek a remedy. Hair loss treatments come in many varieties, but only a few work. Possibly the most reliable and permanent solution to this problem is hair transplantation, a minor surgical procedure done under local anesthesia. More than 100 million Americans have high cholesterol. So, you probably know someone dealing with the condition, or you may have high cholesterol yourself. Almost anyone can have an unhealthy cholesterol level. In fact, 1 in 5 people have high cholesterol. It's a very common problem and, in many cases, it may be inherited. Heart disease is the leading killer of Americans. According to the American Heart Association, more than 13 million Americans are affected and, when diagnosing heart disease, using the best medical imaging technology available is crucial. Until recently, diagnosing heart disease was difficult without a costly and invasive surgical procedure, especially for patients with little or no history of a heart condition. If picky eating were an Olympic sport, would your child be the gold medal winner? If so, you're not alone. Many parents find that their children consistently place first in the "you can't make me eat" that category and excel at pushing food around their plate. Be patient. Don't try to force your children to eat if they refuse to finish their meal. By creating drama in the kitchen, you set a bad tone for the future. More than 50 years ago, Dr. Robert R. Wilson proposed using proton radiation to fight cancerous tumors. Wilson was a scientist who worked on the Manhattan Project developing the atomic bomb and later championed the peaceful use of atomic energy. Today, the father of proton therapy, as he is often called, would be stunned by the growth and development of proton therapy in this country. Proton beam therapy is increasingly being used to treat various cancers, so much that new centers are being planned for Hampton University in Virginia and the University of Pennsylvania Medical Center in Philadelphia. The new sites are expected to cost between $190 and $250 million and open over the next 3 years. If it's getting harder to put one foot in front of the other, chances are you're not alone. In fact, podiatrists say that millions of Americans experience some kind of foot trouble on a regular basis. These problems can range from foot odor to ingrown toenails to various types of pain. Foot ailments are among the most common health problems affecting the American population. As a bride prepares for her wedding day, there is a long list of things to do. Book the reception hall. Order the wedding cake. Find the perfect dress. And take care of her feet. Many brides will wear shoes that can wreak havoc on their feet. So it's especially important to pamper them before the big day. You've changed shampoos. You've tried new conditioners. Nothing seems to help. Your hair is thin, weak and dull. Could there be new hope in a comb? Employing advances in laser technology, Florida-based Lexington International created the Hair Max Laser Comb, a unique method for improving the appearance of hair using laser phototherapy. Both men and women with thinning hair have used the comb and reported positive results. For many people, their pets are their best friends who deserve the best care possible. This includes feeding them a high-quality food to ensure they are getting all the nutrition they need to be healthy inside and out. Last year, U.S. consumers spent nearly $15 billion on food for their pets, according to the American Pet Products Manufacturers Association. This Father's Day, shoppers can go beyond the neckwear, coffee mugs or golf balls and choose a gift that will help Dad extend the life and improve the appearance of his shoes. The Buff and Shine Polisher, a battery-operated device that features a slow-moving shoe polish applicator on one of its two heads and a fast-moving polishing brush on the other, is included in a complete shoe care kit offered at participating Walmart stores this Father's Day. Fewer than 1 in 5 Americans can identify even one stroke symptom. Stroke, or brain attack, is the leading cause of adult disability and the third leading cause of death in America. Recognizing when stroke is occurring and reacting fast to get treatment can save lives. If you understand the warning signs of stroke and get to the hospital quickly, it is possible to even possibly reverse the stroke itself. There are more than 2.2 million weddings each year, according to the U.S. Wedding Report. The coffee maker, a must-have appliance in the majority of American kitchens, is still one of the most popular bridal registry choices. However, it isn't as easy to choose a coffee maker as it was in the past. New styles, designs and updated technology have brought the coffee maker category to a new level. America's most popular pet, the cat, lives more than half of its life in the senior years. Although advances in veterinary care, better nutrition and better educated owners have helped improve the quantity and quality of these years, studies reveal that senior cats continue to struggle with weight as the result of reduced activity levels and a steady decline in senses, nutrient absorption and fat digestion. Open a medicine cabinet and there's a good chance that it will be stocked with anti-aging creams, cleansing balms and toning gels for men. Just a few years ago, men had little choice but to sneak a dab of their wives' or girlfriend's cleanser or moisturizer. But today, companies are responding to men's interests and needs by developing lines of skincare expressly for them. Ask pet owners what they consider to be the most frustrating part of having a dog or cat, and fleas and ticks will likely be high on the list. From powders and sprays to dips and pills, the array of products available to combat these annoying insects can be a difficult road to navigate for even the most dedicated pet owner. But choosing the wrong product or applying it incorrectly can be dangerous. Ever wonder what your dog does while you're away? A new survey shows that most dogs are enjoying the comforts of home. Nearly 70% of dog owners say their dogs spend at least half their time hanging around indoors. When asked what their dogs do all day, 66% of American dog owners thought their dogs lounged the day away, while only 9% imagined their pets romping with toys. Although 73% of women know how to prevent heart disease, many are unaware of how to treat it once a diagnosis has been made. In a survey of 1,979 women over age 35, only 55% said they understand how to treat heart disease. Respondents often incorrectly named prevention techniques such as exercise and healthy eating as treatment options, and less than 10% named actual treatments such as angioplasty and stent placement. Although surgery is often an option for prostate enlargement, adverse symptoms including incontinence and sexual dysfunction are enough to make many sufferers choose prescription drugs if their BPH is mild or moderate. However, there is always a risk of experiencing similar side effects as with surgery, which is why natural remedies such as Roplex are a good alternative. Shoe polishing is no longer a dirty job, thanks to a new gadget that eliminates the muss and fuss. The Buff and Shine Polisher is a battery-operated device that features a slow-moving shoe polish applicator on one of its two heads and a fast-moving polishing brush on the other. The kit sells for approximately $20 and is available at participating Walmart stores. Every year, 4.7 million Americans are bitten by dogs and 60% of those affected are children, with the most severe injuries occurring in children younger than 10 years old. That adds up to potentially 2.8 million scars on children each year from dog bites alone. Being bitten by a dog can be a traumatic event for anyone, especially for a child. If you're hearing dogs talk to you, don't panic. It may only be your email. Petcentric.com, a website devoted to information and stories about pets, recently introduced a feature called Doggy Mail, an interactive service that allows dog lovers to send free email messages in the voice of their very own customized canine. Tragically, there is a general perception that colorectal cancer only affects Caucasian males older than 50, says Dr. Tanya Adams, a gastroenterologist and rectal cancer survivor who was diagnosed at age 36. If you have a family history of colorectal cancer or polyps, a history of inflammatory bowel disease, unexplained abdominal symptoms or blood in the stool, consult with a board-certified gastroenterologist for further evaluation. Having a baby, be it for the first time or the fourth, can be simultaneously awe-inspiring and overwhelming. And while the responsibility of carrying a child to term lands squarely on the shoulders of the soon-to-be mom, experts say that fathers go through an adjustment period of their own, with distinct yet valid issues and concerns. These feelings can range from fear to high anxiety and are common for new fathers. A cosmetic dentist can often correct an imperfect smile with veneers. But if spending painful hours in the dentist's chair getting your teeth ground down sounds like it would put a damper on all the joyful planning, here's good news. Lumineers are now used by thousands of dentists nationwide and can be applied in 2 short, pain-free appointments. Unlike other veneer procedures, lumineers are so strong and thin that they don't require removal of sensitive tooth structure. When it comes to finding a great shampoo or topical pain reliever, some consumers don't horse around. Others do, and they just might tell you that it pays off. Using horse shampoo or other products designed for animals may seem a bit strange, but according to some pet care industry experts, there's a growing trend of consumers doing just that. Men in the United States may not be as healthy as they say they are. Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention indicate cases of testicular and colorectal cancer have been on the rise for more than a decade, according to a recent survey commissioned by the American Academy of Family Physicians. A recent survey commissioned by the National Apartment Association finds that current real estate market trends are causing 25% of homeowners to believe that having no susceptibility to foreclosure is a reason to rent rather than own. According to Trump University, this is a gross misconception. Looking for family fun or a romantic getaway? Just go to Mexico. Whether you're a large family or two honeymooners, you can experience cultural immersion, fine dining, spa services and beachfront relaxation at the Villa Group Resorts in Cabo San Lucas. A cluster of villa properties located on prime beaches offers a selection of special packages. Nearly 21 million people in the United States are afflicted with diabetes, which accounts for 7% of the population. The prevalence of the disease is even higher among African Americans. In fact, approximately 13% of African Americans aged 20 years or older have the disease. And while diabetes is a chronic disease that can be managed, people need to be more aware of the complications. There are now an estimated 300,000 women in the United States living with HIV/AIDS. New findings from the Women Living Positive survey show that a communication gap exists between women living with HIV and their healthcare providers when it comes to having important discussions about HIV and its treatment that meet their individual needs. During the 1963 March on Washington, Martin Luther King Jr. stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and delivered what would become his most famous public words. King's "I Have a Dream" speech left an indelible imprint on hundreds of thousands of civil rights demonstrators that day and would continue to do so for generations to come. Platinum 950 is the most durable precious metal and will last a lifetime. It's 30 times more rare than gold, and for wedding bands set with diamonds, its natural whiteness will ensure the diamonds sparkle and stay secure. It is no wonder that Hollywood's A-list designers are all choosing platinum in their designs. But don't worry, you don't have to be a star to own a platinum ring. Landscaping is another way to update the look of your home. Landscapes are moving away from structured shapes, so if you have a lot of shaped trees that look like triangles or spheres, let them grow out, and prune them more naturally. Plants and shrubs bunched together, in a bouquet style of planting pattern, are also becoming more fashionable. For college students, computers are as important as textbooks, if not more so. Students' homework? Online. The articles that students need to write their research papers? Archived online. Colleges now put everything from campus news to career center information to dining hall schedules on the internet, making personal computers as important for today's students as the paper and pens.